Man, that was an absolute disaster yesterday. The Greens were freaking out about what happened in Europe. Once again, we pushed the embarrassment scale past 300 with what happened here in Germany. All collected this morning in a video. You can see it's already late. I've gathered quite a bit, and I have to tell you, the situation is no longer desperate. In fact, it's getting better and better for us. You probably haven't noticed it yet. A quick clarification. The police officer yesterday in Berlin simply spoke English with someone who, unfortunately, only spoke English and Polish. If you want to support this channel, please like and subscribe. And now, for all my viewers on this channel, please enjoy it for a moment. The phrase send him back means nothing other than send them back. And dear Dominic, whom I've already shown several times here on my channel, was one of the ringleaders yesterday, but more on that in a moment.
More concessions on tariff rate quotas. Vote on consent by roll call vote. The vote is open.
No more lies. There are now deportation centers where people who have no reason to be here anymore can be taken. They no longer receive any benefits from us, and now they can be deported much faster. But that wasn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem was yesterday, and once again the CDU voted together with the AfD, with the ISN, and the firewall has been torn apart once again. And at the same time, loud roaring in the halls, send him back, finally send them back. Send back the people who caused so much trouble here, keep the people who work here, pay taxes, and help out again. The country is on its knees. Our country is on its knees, and now it's time to rebuild everything. And if Merz and his cohorts don't start sending people back now, then we won't even need to think about... We don't even need to worry about polls for the next Bundestag election because then they're done for. At the latest, when we ourselves violate European law again, and it hits the press because there's another attack, because someone loses their life again, because someone is raped again, and this list is really extremely long, then you can hold him to it, and I believe that several newspapers like Welt and Bild are now just waiting for that. And now it's getting really embarrassing. I mean, social media is its own thing. I know that myself. And how often does it frustrate us? But what's coming to light there should be incredibly frustrating to every German seeing where our tax money is going. And the question I ask myself is what kind of team is even behind this, running such an absurdity? Just take a look at it.
Do you still see its function as such a problem?
Yes?
What can you do about it?
Communicate where the people are.
What kind of guy is that?
Is also on YouTube.
At first, I didn't laugh and thought, yeah, so what, if one of the biggest people spreading disinformation is now on YouTube? And then I realized what actually happened, so at first I took it at face value. If the people spreading disinformation, don't you believe me? Well, okay, let's just take yesterday afternoon's video. You guys really clicked on it a lot. Polish Christians are briefly arrested in Germany and beaten up. It doesn't appear in the media. Our foreign minister doesn't say anything either, and apparently the German diplomat in Poland has now been summoned. I'm not entirely sure about that, but that could have been a translation mistake on my part. That was from Polish television yesterday. We get nothing, and our foreign minister doesn't mention it either. At the same time, well, maybe he should inform us about all this tax money being wasted and not just say, we found a few hundred million, we didn't even know what it was for. But under no circumstances should it be put back into the budget for tax relief or anything like that. Yeah, those are the things. And then he sits down and says, I'm on YouTube now too. Yeah, and I don't think Vodafone wants to see anyone on YouTube. But well, maybe I could be wrong about that too.
Nobody wants a war, we want peace. You can only achieve peace through your own strength. If we are strong, people can sleep peacefully at night, knowing that the Bundeswehr and NATO can defend us. And for that, this deployment is right and makes sense. That means the old saying, if you want peace, prepare for war, still applies.
What about the much older saying, if you don't want war, establish trade relations? By the way, that actually came from the Fuggers back then. I specifically looked it up again. I think this second saying is much better because no one fires at their trading partners. That would be pretty stupid too, since the people who help finance the war, maybe even on both sides, always have it much, much easier. Just like many other countries, for example, in Europe, who don't get worked up every morning. And I think the Germans could sleep much better if we took Russian gas and at the same time used the money to support Ukraine, or rather so that they can defend themselves. Russia wouldn't do anything to us, and we could sleep well at night because we would be doing something. But what do I know? That's actually just, yeah, a saying from the Fuggers back then that they had at the time. And this warmongering, well, it seems like it's only really being heated up like that in Germany anymore. After all, we want to have, yeah, the strongest army in Europe to finally attack the Russians. 5:45 a.m. I got a bit into my flow, sorry, to defend ourselves against Russia. And from 5:45 a.m. on, that's when we fired back. You know what I mean? YouTube and TikTok.
Calls for European alternatives are growing louder, pushing for less dependence and more data protection. W Social is supposed to be such an alternative.
Yeah, where did the beta project start yesterday? So something like X, but you're forbidden from saying everything you want. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's like Facebook, just without the algorithm. It's like the government just closely controls what you write, which is much, much easier to control. By the way, do you know who doesn't sign up there? Do you know who also hasn't signed up for Blue Sky? Yeah, that's a similar platform. I'm a bit scared of that. I don't have to give my data directly to the German Domestic Intelligence Service. I can, well, dear German Domestic Intelligence Service, you're probably watching these videos right now. Just a quick note in my videos. It's really important that you understand this, please. Yeah, if you want to monitor me, then at least do it by watching these two videos manually every day, and also take the whole context into account and then observe me. But that I would give you my data directly just because I really want to. No, I don't feel like doing that, so please, like VW Social, I'm not signing up there. I don't know, what about you? Feel free to write it below. Would you sign up for a European social media platform? The last one, maybe you still know someone, yeah? Or the last two where I signed up were Stay Friends and StudiVZ. Those were the platforms. They didn't do any good and you couldn't find anyone anyway because hardly anyone connected with them. But why not? Europe is now a pioneer in social media. And what does that actually look like? Can I also chat with my American friends on it? Like, for example, on Facebook? I'm actually one of those people who, especially on Facebook, almost only use Messenger. I use it to chat with a few members of the Bundestag, some of whom are friends of mine. Some people who know my profile are aware of that, and I do the same thing on X. And funnily enough, they're all there too. And a few members of the European Parliament from whom I also got that nice video. Yeah, I messaged there too, but somehow through a European platform. I asked a few people yesterday. Yeah, some of them are in the Bundestag, in the Council of Europe. Some are in the state parliament. Some are in the local councils. They all told me, without exception, I'm not crazy, and I stick to that. That's, yeah. Many of them are nominated, monitored by the Germany's Domestic Intelligence Service. They said, no, we don't want to make it that easy for them. I replied, thanks for the information. Man, and I actually finished in time for this video. I wish you a great day. We'll see each other again later today at noon. I have another big topic for today.